Good evening and welcome to another beautiful day. Happy March 1st here, but we are here in Garretson at the Dragon's Lair as Garretson hosts Madison in the first round of the Region 3A playoffs. Now this may seem a little familiar to you as the girls, Garretson and Madison, both off in this gym just about a week ago, actually a week ago to this day, as Madison goes ahead and gets the tip. Quick little spin move and 2 points on the board for Madison right away. While the Garretson girls were the number 3 seed, Garretson boys are number 4. Madison girls were 6, Madison boys are 5. Looking for it to be a pretty close matchup between both of these teams tonight, as their season records pretty much mirrored each other, their season successes pretty much mirrored each other, as did their power points, with a nice little up and under there by Caden Ockengay. Great pass by Slam Schleter to tie the game at 2s. Madison go ahead and sitting in that half-court set. Starters for the Madison Bulldogs today, you have number 1, Aspen Dahl. He's a senior guard, 5'11". Great hang time by number 23, Aiden Jensen, the 6'8" junior for the Bulldogs. Number 2, Mikhail Dorer, senior guard, sitting at 6 foot. Number 4, Nate Rickey, 6'3" senior. And then number 20, 6'1" senior, Trey Smith, round out that starting lineup as Garretson is called for that offensive foul. First one for Rhett Cloth on the night. So Rhett Cloth, part of that starting lineup for the Garretson Blue Dragons. Also sitting down low with him in that 2-3 zone is number 11, Caden Ockengay, a senior, and number 15, Dylan Kint, also a senior. Up on the top side of that zone are Sam Schleter, number 13, a junior, and number 3, Cooper Long, also a junior. Schleter strips it away, a little bit of chaos on the floor. Garretson does come away with it as Cooper Long helps to reset, gets it back up to Kent, who's gonna reset the offense. Madison looks like they're playing pretty much in a straight up man defense, which isn't something necessarily Garretson has seen a ton of this year. While they do see man defense, it's a lot of man switch or somebody that'll drop up into a 2-3 zone, but my sources have told me that Madison does like to sit in a man defense practically the entire time. So thank you, boys coaches, for that little insider information as we were coming across. I don't think our score bug is working right now, but the score is sitting right now at 4-2 in favor of the visitors. Madison wearing their dark black jerseys here and Garretson wearing the home team whites. Nice little floater in the lane that doesn't fall for Dahl. Cloth getting position on the rebound, and Aiden Jensen this time getting tagged for the board. That should be a pretty good battle between both of the big men, both number 23 on the night. Pretty much mirror in body, in length, in the way they play all the way through. Kent closely guarded by Dahl here on the night. Schleter takes a nice curl in, picks up the dribble at the top of the key. Ball gets shoveled around a little bit. Ball stripped from Long at the free throw line. Good ball movement by Madison, and they were able to finish as Ricky gets 2 and Dorer gets an assist to his name. Kent moving the ball up the court, looking to drive all the way, kicks it over to Kent along the Ockengay along the baseline, and he gets a little roller to fall. Garretson still down by 2, 4-6. Dahl takes the ball up the court, swings it over to Jensen. Jensen brings it down low, which quickly gets kicked back out. Good inside-outside action there to make this 2-3 zone move. Schleter getting his hand in there, calling a jump ball. Ball should go in favor of Garretson, as Madison did get the tip here. Madison is definitely a team that likes to kind of push that pace a little bit, making sure that they not only get their opponents winded, but also not letting them get set on their defense. Luckily for Garretson, that they do have a pretty quick team overall, as Kent looked to find Ockengay, but was met by Ricky underneath. Long shot by Ricky from the top of the key. Ball doesn't go. Quick outlet pass from Kent to Schleter, who found it in the corner, gave it back to Kent, who swung it over to Long. Long looks to move, get his first points of the night so far. No good there. And Madison's going to go ahead and keep moving that ball inside and outside. Could have been an easy foul by Cloth, but they did elect to not call it. Must have missed completely on that one, but Cloth does come away with the rebound. Kent taking his time to get that ball up the court. Garretson going to go ahead and get his set there. Great pass by Long to find Kent. Kent drops it for 2 and knots the game here at 6s apiece. Cloth with another big board on that defensive side, and that's going to be key for Garretson tonight, is being able to keep Madison off of those second chance points. Madison's a pretty tough, scrappy team where you're not necessarily going to keep them off of the shot attempt at all as they move the ball around really well, but making sure that you take advantage of those missed shots and keeping them off of that offensive board is going to be key for Garretson tonight. But likewise, that is going to be big for Madison, as well as limiting those possessions. Dahl is hounding Kent as he dribbles across half court. Schlueter finds Ockengay in the corner. Ockengay looks to get another 2 points to his name, but is blocked out of bounds by Jensen. Whole big line change coming in here. So we have number 3, Peyton Wolf, a senior for Madison coming in, as is senior number 10, Cody Klein. And if I can find the number, there it is, number 21, a freshman, Ben Brooks. Coming on for Garretson is number 33, Clay Lardy, a junior forward. Screen and roll by Cloth and Schlueter here. Cloth finds Lardy down low, and Lardy just drops it in for 2. Good assist by Cloth to find that awareness. Garretson takes their first lead of the night, dropping in 2 and up 8-6. Brooks going up and is fouled by Cloth on the attempt. So Brooks is going to go ahead and find himself at the charity stripe. First one is up and in. Up and in as Isaiah Gannat checks on and Rhett Cloth checks out with 2 fouls. Second one also good for the freshman. This time Schlueter elects to take it up court as Kent has been hounded pretty closely, but it looks like that hasn't changed depending on who takes it up. Long dribble drives and then pops from about 12 feet out. No good as it goes off the front of the rim. Ball is brought up by Wolf, swings it over to Dorer. Gives it back to Wolf and over to Klein over on the other side. Big post up by Jensen. And great awareness by Madison. Gannat and Lardy collapsed in on Jensen and caused the ball to go away, but no good there. And on that one, you see a classic tip kind of rebound by Jensen. He has been known, or has at least been seen in the last few games, to be able to know if he is not going to get that ball, that he is going to tip it out towards his teammates who are out on the perimeter. So good awareness by Garretson and kind of boxing those other guys out. So Madison was not able to come up with another second chance on that. Great cut by Long and great assist by Kent. He just sees the court so well. He's definitely going to be a player that is missed next year, as are the other seniors, Gannat and Ockengay. But Kent has been kind of the general in charge of the floor for the last three or four years. I think it has been since his freshman year. And just, he sees the court well and he knows where his teammates move. A real student of the game. That is fun to watch. Good confidence there. And he's as much of a threat on the boards as he is on the offensive side. As Kent launches from 3, ball still up in the air. Gannat comes away with it. Nice little fake attempt to give himself a floater in the lane, but it looks like Wolf steps out of bounds and ball falls in favor of Garretson. Kent gonna go ahead and get a breather here with 52.1 seconds left on the game clock in this first quarter. as Akingay checks back in. Currently on the court for Garretson, you have Schlueter, Lardy, Long, Akingay, and Gannat. Schlueter launches it over to Long, who takes a look from three. Ball is no good, and Cody Klein comes away with the rebound. Quickly passes it over to Peyton Wolf, who finds the freshman, Ben Brooks. Brooks is going to get called. I apologize. Akingay is going to get called for the blocking foul on Brooks as he tried to find position. He just got there maybe about a half step too late to get the charge on there. Ball is inbounded by the Bulldogs, just kind of swung around on the perimeter right now. I'm expecting a little bit of high-low action, or at least some inside-out action that they've done so well so far in this first little bit. There's about a 7 or 8 second difference between shot and game clock, but that offensive rebound right there keeps the ball, takes the shot clock out of play. Akingay was able to cause a jump ball, but Coach Tad Heitkamp of the Garretson Blue Dragons is not happy with that jump ball call, as he felt like his boys should have been in better position to get the rebound, not just settle for a hope and a prayer on that defensive side. Final 15 seconds of play here as Wolf has it in the front. Schlueter got his foot in the way just a little bit, kicks it. Ball is going to be inbounded on the sideline by Brooks. No contention as it goes to Wolf. Sub 6 minutes here. Akingay with the steal. Lots of time to get the ball all the way up the court. He finds Schlueter. Schlueter finds Long. Long launches with a minute left. Off the mark for three, but what you find at the end of quarter one, Garretson 10, Madison 8. And I am going to apologize because I do not have my normal statisticians with me tonight, as I have in the past. As a few of the littles in our house are feeling a little under the weather, so we're not up to the task of coming out to the Dragon's Lair tonight. But I hope you and your family are doing well and enjoying this wonderful basketball game that we have here. Like I said, we have 10-8 score of the number 4 seed Garretson with 10, the number 5 seed Madison with 8, and it is a back and forth battle, much as anticipated it would be. Like I said, these boys had very close seasons that were practically the same way. Likewise, the PowerPoints were pretty much the same. They both had these brilliant moments of really shining and going, holy buckets, this is definitely a team that we need to watch out for, and they can take any team down at any moment. And then you would see them the next game and kind of wonder maybe what happened just a little bit on there as well. So a little bit of back and forth as the seasons have happened, but the bonus is that everyone is 0-0 come playoff time. And here we are in that first round of playoffs as Garretson does get the ball to start. Akingay takes a look from the baseline and misses. Ball comes in favor of Madison as Ricky scores and ties up that game at 10-10. Garretson patient on the offensive set here as they swing the ball around. Long skip pass from Long to Schlueter. Schlueter launches from NBA range. Long comes away with the rebound, but ball gets poked away. A little bit of a scramble for the ball as everything is going, where Akingay gets his hand on it, but is sitting halfway out of bounds. Ball to the Bulldogs. Like I said, we are sitting here 10-10, 1 minute into the second quarter, 7 minutes of play left here in this first half of play. Jensen with a big post move up on Lardy. Lardy holding his ground, but Jensen is able to work his way around him with a long drop step. That 6'8" frame is going to work in his favor when he's able to move that around that far. Steal for the Bulldogs on an errant pass by Long, trying to find Gannat, or I'm sorry, trying to find Kint. But Madison does a favor and has another unforced error, and Kint comes away with it, pushing it forward. Schlueter looking to drive it in the lane, kicks it off to Lardy, who launches from about the free throw line, distance on the side. Garretson ball. Checking back on for the Blue Dragons, you have Rhett Cloth. Currently on the court for the Blue Dragons, you have number 23, Rhett Cloth, 13, Sam Schlueter, number 33, Clay Lardy, 15, Dylan Kent, and number 3, Cooper Long. Cooper Long shoots from 3 and hits the 3 for his 3rd, 4th, and 5th points of the night. That puts Garretson back up ahead 13-12. On the court right now for the Madison Bulldogs, they've got both of their big men in, number 21, Ben Brooks, and number 23, Aiden Jensen. Rebound goes out of bounds off of Rhett Cloth. Number 4, Nate Rickey is going to inbound it. Like I said, you have Brooks and Jensen in. Rickey is in right now, passes it over to number 1, Aspen Dahl, and then number 20, Trey Smith, rounds out the Madison Bulldog lineup right now. Shot from 3, no good. Jensen comes away with the rebound with pretty much no contest. And then Rickey hits from 3, up to 7 points here on the night. That then puts Madison back in the lead, 15-13. Dahl closely guarding Long, gets called for the hold as it looks like number 2, Mikhail Dorer, is coming back into play. Having a seat is Ben Brooks. Great defensive effort right there, and that maybe evens out the height matchup a little bit for Garretson and Madison. Clay Lardy coming away with that inbounds pass. I think it was intended for Cloth, but it was tipped away by Madison. Lardy right there and right in the play to pick it up. Grabs it, good hustle by Schlueter to track that ball down in the corner. But Madison continuing on to put on that pressure all the way across the court. Score is knotted up at 15-15. With 5 minutes left to play here in the second. Another foul by Madison. That is going to be their 4th of the night. Number 2, Mikhail Dorer, apparently got his hands on the Blue Dragons just a little too much. Long and Schlueter kind of do a little bit of back and forth. Kent gets in on the action, finds Long over. Long swings it to Schlueter on that 3-point line, who decides to drive it into the lane, but is immediately blocked by Jensen. Outlet pass by Rickey, goes off to Smith, but it looks like Cloth is going to get tagged for the foul. The ball might have been clean, but I think he got the body as they were going up. That is one thing that sometimes people kind of forget to look for a little bit, is that when they just watch the ball and they don't look at the body, as the body, especially that lower part, sometimes people are a little tricky and then slide that lower part of the body in there. But unfortunately, that is Cloth's 3rd foul. We have 4:43 to play. Caden Ockengay is getting the nod to go in and clear Cloth from the floor right now. Last thing they want is for Cloth to hit 4 fouls before we even get into the second half. Heitkamp definitely not happy with that call, as he maybe had a few words with the ref and trying to look for that explanation. But Trey Smith hits 1 of the 2 free throws, pushing the score in favor of Madison. They are up by 1, 16-15. Dahl still close on Kent. Kent, a strong ball handler, and that confidence definitely came into play. Dahl's getting tagged with his 2nd, and that's actually his 2nd of the quarter. Number 3, Peyton Wolf coming on for Dahl. Same kind of foul game that Garretson has to play with Cloth right now, is that how much do you risk that player being on the court for the final minutes of the second half, or do you look to just save them for the second? Kent tries to find Long. Long doesn't see it. Ball is deflected, kind of came away. Lardy with it. Has that play to get himself up there in action. And Garretson does get to reset. 15 seconds left on the shot clock as Long throws it away from Schlueter, and they get called for an over and back. Poor passing choice over there by Garretson as they were trying to avoid the tough Madison defense, but definitely took a little bit too much of that and caused that over and back. Head coach Jeff Larson of the Madison Bulldogs calling a timeout. Looks like it's just a 30-second timeout here. Teams are standing, but it gives a chance for both of the head coaches here to settle their troops down a little bit. It was a 10-8 game at the end of the first quarter, currently 15-16, as Madison has been able to double up their score, and Garretson has just hit 5 points in this second quarter. Just over 4 minutes left to play here in the first half, with Madison with that 1 point lead and possession of the ball. It's been a pretty aggressive game for the most part. Neither team really backing down from defensive pressure. We see fouls are tied at 4 right now, so a pretty even game being played as the score is also representing. Smith has it at the top of the key, gets it to Ricky. Ricky over to Jensen down low, looking for somebody cutting. Doesn't seem to find what they are wanting inside, so they're keeping it outside. Little high-low post action as Trey Smith tries to drive baseline. Lardy with some good defense and gets his foot in the way, so they aren't able to connect with Jensen down low, especially with Cloth not on the floor. Garretson's going to have to step up that defensive effort with Jensen, as Lardy's getting as big as he can to avoid that 6'8" frame. Jensen with his third, fourth attempt. They're at it. They just couldn't get him off of the boards. Jensen had 4 different looks at it before that foul came across, or it came across on that fourth one. As Garretson's Clay Lardy is going to get pegged with that foul. Jensen takes his time, few dribbles, snaps and releases and hits. He gets one more look here from the charity stripe, looking to extend this to at least a 3-point play. That one is also good. So Madison up by 3, 18-15, with just under 4 minutes to play. Schlueter going to go ahead and take the ball up the court. Trey Smith not quite as tight on defense. Jensen with a big block there. Ball comes away to Peyton Wolf. Wolf decides to take it coast to coast. Misses, is hit from one of his players from behind, but is able to retain possession on there. Jensen grabs it up at the top of the key as Madison looks to reset here. Good closeout by Kent. Lardy grabbing the rebound. And it looks like Wolf got his arm stuck in there. Gannat checking back in on the court for Garretson. Sam Schlueter going to go ahead and take a seat. A little bit of a breather going on. You can see nerves are maybe just a little bit higher. Regardless of what happens tonight, this is the last game in the Dragon's Lair for these boys of the season. Winner of this game goes on to play in the second round as Kent is stripped by Wolf, passes it ahead to Smith, and it looks like Smith was unable to gather his steps before putting that ball down. Like I said, winner of tonight's game goes on to play the second round of regions at a neutral site. That neutral site is going to be the Augustana University Elman Center, and that game is slated for Friday. I believe it's a 6:30 start, with the other region contest happening at 8 o'clock after this, or after the winner of this games. Great little backdoor by Akingay. Gannat relocates on the 3-point line, hits it and ties it. Game tied at 18s. Big hit by Gannat from that 3-point range. It's one of his favorite spots to shoot from. He's much more comfortable there than he is with the contact in the lane, but has definitely worked really hard on that 3-point shot throughout his career as a Blue Dragon. Gannat getting that arm of Ricky and sending Ricky to the line. That is not the player that you want to be sending to the line if you are the Garretson Blue Dragons. Ricky has probably been one of the strongest players as like a whole for Madison all season. 2 dribbles, slight pause, and it goes up, and it's good for Ricky. Kent and Akingay decide to switch spots up on the top of the blocks. 2 more dribbles, slight pause. This one decides to go in and out. Lardy with a big rebound and cleared his space, as Wolf is giving Kent just a little bit more space than Dahl was doing earlier. Long finds Lardy at the high post, takes it, looks to dump it, dribbled the ball in the middle of the lane. Lardy was called. It looked like that he was pushed from behind by Madison. Jensen's checking off, Brooks checking on, as well as Ockengay checking off for Garretson and Schlueter coming back on. But that has been a pretty dangerous spot to be for the Blue Dragons, as they have tried to dribble it into the lane a few different times tonight and haven't been able to seem to handle the ball from one reason or another. Either they're getting fouled or they are losing the possession more often than not, as feet and hands get really condensed really quickly. Quick trigger off of that inbound pass, and it's in and out by Long. Madison comes away with the rebound. Wolf kind of struggling to get a handle on it, but does compose himself. Gets it to Smith at the top of the free throw line. Nobody closed out on him. He decides to take a look at it. Ball is short, and Kent comes away with the rebound. Kent taking his time here in the final minute 25 of play, finds him scrolling long. Oh, great pass by Lardy to Gannat. Gannat fakes out one, but allows the other defense to kind of close in on him. Great defensive effort by Madison to not give up on that play, and that was good heads-up awareness by Gannat in order to understand that size matchup on there as well. Fresh 35 seconds on the shot clock, but we only use 3 seconds of it as Kent launches from three. Lardy gets a big offensive rebound over freshman Ben Brooks. The and one is good. And Brooks is going to get his first foul of the night. Lardy settles in here on this free throw line. 3 slow dribbles with a few spins in his hands, launches and hits. That gives Garretson the 21-19 lead, a minute 10 left to play here in this first half. Ricky launches from 3 and quickly gets it back in Madison's favor. Madison up by 1 with a minute to play left in this first half. Madison definitely did their scouting reports, though, as they've been playing Kent pretty closely, not allowing him that usual freedom that he can have to give those hesitation steps in there. Also guarding Long pretty quickly, not letting him get a lot of real open looks. And then closing down on Cloth. Long getting tripped up. Was looking to maybe do something else with that ball, but ended up being able to shovel it over to Lardy. Lardy had a good look for the situation he was given, as he didn't want to step on Long at all. Shot clock is off, 12 seconds left to play. Madison looking to extend their lead going into the half. They are currently up 22-21, 6 seconds left. Ricky takes it in, no good, gets his own rebound, and it's good. Score you have at the end of the first half. 24 Madison, 21 Garretson. 3-point game here as we go into the half. And it is very clear that Nate Ricky is definitely the commander of that Madison offense, and seems to be handling the ball on both sides of the court more than almost anyone else here. As Ricky is leading all scorers with 13 points, at least 13 points here in this first half. And I will apologize to Madison fans or those who are trying to keep score at home. Like I said, I do not have my normal statisticians with me, and I missed the first few buckets of marking that, at least those first few buckets that happened here. But I do know Aiden Jensen has at least 4 points, Ben Brooks with 2, and then Trey Smith hit his one of his 2 free throws on the night. On Garretson's side, quite a few different scorers here, but not necessarily the big scoring from the ones that you typically see. Clay Lardy is the leading scorer for Garretson with 7 points. Caden Ockengay and Cooper Long each have 4 apiece. Caden Ockengay had the first 4 points of the game for the Blue Dragons. 3 points goes to Isaiah Gannat on a wing side 3-pointer, and Dylan Kent has 2 from a great pass by Long to round out the scoring of the 21 points for Garretson. Here with about 8.5 left in this halftime, this is a great time for you to go ahead and take a quick break, because you do not want to miss a minute of this action. Game has been tight wire to wire so far, and we are expecting that second half to be no different. So get yourself a break, a nice little snack, and then we'll come back here after halftime and have a little bit more between the Madison Bulldogs and the Garretson Blue Dragons in the Dragon's Lair of Garretson, South Just under 3 minutes left to go here in halftime. Madison Bulldogs 24, Garretson Blue Dragons 21 in Garretson at the Dragon's Lair. This is going to be the last time, regardless of what happens tonight, that Garretson hosts a basketball game in the Dragon's Lair for this 2021-2022 school year, as the winner of Madison and Garretson goes on to play at the Elman Center on Augustana's campus on Friday for the second round of region play. Awaiting them is the winner of other games tonight, where what we have seen so far tonight is a really aggressive Madison team who came in here very confident and maybe a little frustrated that they were unable to host this first round game. Like I said at the very beginning of the broadcast, there was not much of a spread between Madison and Garretson, and it was really a toss-up all the way down to the end of the season as to which team was going to host. Both teams were pretty much locked into that middle 4-5 matchup, but it was just a matter of who was going to travel. Garretson was able to pull it out as Madison made a valiant effort at the end of their season, but fell just a little bit short in the PowerPoints rankings in order to advance, or in order to have that home court advantage. Just looking at the rest of Region 3 here tonight, games are currently in action all around the state. Boys basketball tonight on Tuesday, and then boys basketball again on Friday night. On Thursday night will be girls basketball Sweet 16 or SODAC 16 matchups at various locations. Those 16 were set last Thursday. Looking at Region 3's matchups right now, currently in action, you have West Central hosting Baltic, and Garretson and Madison will play the winner. Whoever wins out of this Garretson-Madison game will play the winner of that West Central Baltic game. I am going to make the strong assumption that West Central will be the winner of that game, but they do play games for a reason. West Central coming into the season 16-4, and Baltic 3-14 to round out their regular season play as we get into action here. Jensen with a great play for 2 points to start Madison off strong. Last thing Garretson wants is to let Madison spread that lead. Schlueter with bounce pass to Akingay in the corner. Akingay finds Long. Long puts it in for 2. Makes the shot look pretty fancy as he goes up, but fancy or not, score still stays the same at 2 points with that one. You should have, hopefully, your score back to you. Our wonderful tech coordinator, Matt Schrank, was able to get that fixed over halftime, so we apologize it wasn't there for you. Big block by Cloth on Jensen as he goes straight up and then fails to handle the ball but does get it away. Great defense by Cloth by staying straight up on that one. We did not want to see him get pegged with a 4th foul here with only a minute into this 3rd quarter. Kent drives in, kicks it over to Akingay. Akingay finding that look from the baseline where he's usually been pretty successful. No good on this attempt as Madison pushes that ball forward. Ball drops down low to Ricky. Ricky to Jensen. Jensen uses his big frame to kind of take it around. Ricky pushes Kent all the way out of bounds on that rebound attempt. Kent maybe sold it a little bit, but definitely was pushed on there regardless. Madison putting on the press here. Kent inbounds it to Long. Long gonna elect to take it up. Passes it over to Kent, and then Garretson sets in their half-court offense. Cloth with an easy 2. His first buckets of the night. Nice to see him get on the board. Garretson usually rolls pretty well once you have that inside-outside work going on. Jensen quickly closed down on, releases it, ball gets stolen or poked away by Long. Close secures it, finds Kint as Kint goes ahead and brings the ball up the court. Little stutter step on Dahl, gets some space but doesn't explode with his normal energy there. Schlueter swings the ball back around to Kint, who takes it at the top of the key, almost all the way to the timeline. Forcing Kint to maybe go with his right hand, as Kint is a natural lefty, which kind of throws defenders for a little bit, but you can tell that Madison definitely did their scouting report on Garretson, knowing to push Kint over that direction if he needed to. Schlueter inbounds it to Kint, who's all the way in the backcourt. Fresh 35 on the shot clock. Comes across the court with plenty of time to spare. Kint swings it over to Long, which is usually his first choice on that first pass. Shot by Long goes off of the back iron. Dahl comes away with the rebound, takes it coast to coast. Great attempt. Kint and Kloth were actually fighting over it with each other, didn't even realize it. And with that, Jensen was almost able to poke that away, but Kint does secure the ball and gets it over to Schlueter here at the top of the key, who's guarded closely by Trey Smith. Kloth finds Kint over on the three-point line. Nice little relocate by Kint as he swings it all the way back up. There was a moment where Kloth was wide open on that end, but Schlueter didn't see him in time. Kint launches from 3 with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Madison with the big rebound. Jensen takes on Kloth, and Kloth picks up his 4th foul with 4:49 to play. Smart move by Jensen. That's just smart basketball play right there. When you know a player is already in foul trouble, you got to take it at him hard, and that's exactly what they did. Jensen saw who was there, looked at that matchup, hesitated for maybe just a second, and then exploded with the energy, giving Kloth his 4th foul. Looks like Clay Lardy is sitting at the bench ready to come on in. Jensen does miss his first, so it's still just a 1-point game in favor of Madison. Kloth gonna have to take a seat as Clay Lardy checks on for the Blue Dragons. Rounding out the Blue Dragons lineup right now is number 13, Sam Schlueter, number 15, Dylan Kint, 11, Caden Ockengate, and number 3, Cooper Long. Ball is off of Madison. Goes to Garretson. That was kind of a surprise rebound. I don't think Cooper Long was actually ready to rebound that ball, and once he saw it get out to the perimeter, he decided to go after it. A little bit of big contact there, but looks like it worked out for Garretson. Long with a quick trigger on 3. Great to see that shot fall for Long. He's been pretty selective with his shot choices on the night. And then collapsing defense causes Jensen to stutter just a little bit and pulls the foot for a travel. Isaiah Gannat checking on for the Blue Dragons. Caden Ockengate taking a breath. Currently on the court right now for the Madison Bulldogs, you have number 1, Aspen Dahl, number 2, Mikhail Dorer, number 20, Trey Smith, number 23, Aiden Jensen, and number 4, Nate Rickey. Dahl back on Kint. Dahl is a strong defender. He tries to find Lardy down low through the lane, but ball is knocked away by Madison. Great attempt by Smith to try and go after it. Checking on here is number 3, Peyton Wolf, number 21, Ben Brooks, and number 10, Cody Klein. Staying on the court for Madison, that might be easier than everyone checking out, but staying on the court for Madison is number 23, Aiden Jensen, and number 4, Nate Rickey. Long launches from 3 again, seems to have found his rhythm, hit another 3, prompting a timeout by Jeff Larson. That brought Garretson up 31-26, 5-point lead by Garretson with 4:11 to play here in the third quarter. That is the biggest lead for Garretson on the night. Larson having a moment to talk with his Bulldogs and just kind of tell them to settle down a little bit. I'm expecting that there'll probably be a little bit tighter defense on Long. So far, Garretson's done a great job in the second quarter to use the screens well, just to create that quick opportunity of pace, and that's the big part, is making sure you can find that quick moment, because they're not going to leave you open the entire time. Madison does a great job closing down on that defense pretty quickly, but if you can hit that guy right away, then that's when Garretson has found these open shots. Long has hit 2 3-pointers now, 2 possessions in a row, which has allowed Garretson to move into that 5-point lead rather than the 1-point deficit that they just were. Madison waiting to inbound the ball here at the end of this timeout. Everyone on the court pretty much the same as it was before. It is Klein, Wolf, Ricky, Jensen, and Brooks on for Madison, with Gannat, Lardy, Schlueter, Long, and Kint on for the Blue Dragons. 31-26. 8-point swing since the start of the first quarter, or I'm sorry, since the start of this third quarter. As Garretson went into the start of the second half down by 3 and now up by 5 with 3:47 to play. Garretson in no hurry right now, using as much of the time as they need. Looks like Madison dropped into a 2-3 defense, giving Garretson a different look, allowing Kint to have a wide open look by 3, but maybe it's allowing them to close down in on those wings and then low posts a little bit faster. Brooks wide open down low. Ball gets poked away by Garretson. Madison will have the opportunity to inbound that ball. 28 seconds left on the shot clock. Little scramble for a ball everywhere. They get called for over and back. Great defense by Garretson, as this third quarter looks to be pretty beneficial for them right now. Gannat swings it to Long on the top of the key, who finds Kint. Sam Schlueter with a great cut along the baseline, wide open from that baseline. You don't want to leave Schlueter open like that. Great look by Sam Schlueter for his first 3 points of the night. That has pretty much been Sam Schlueter's bread and butter all season. If he has a wide open look on the baseline, he's going to hit it. Jensen with a great post move down below to take 2 off of the board for Garretson's favor, but it's still a 6-point spread as Garretson is up 34-28 here with 2.5 left to play. Good fake out by Kint, got Ricky in the air, but he's unable to finish as he drove it all the way into the lane. However, Kint will find himself at the free throw line shooting 2 as Peyton Wolf picks up his second foul. Kint hits his first from the charity stripe, taking advantage of those free looks at the basket. Jensen checks off, Dahl checks on. I'm expecting Dahl to match up with Kint pretty quickly, as he has been hounding Kint all night so far. Kint gets one more attempt here at the free throw line and makes it. Full timeout being called by the Garretson Blue Dragons head coach Tad Heitkamp. Going to take a moment to help refocus Garretson here. Maybe seems a little bit silly for just the average observer, just when Garretson came up with some pretty big defensive stops as well as some great offensive possessions, including 3 different three-pointers, a great take to the lane that's caused somebody to go to the free throw line. But this is the great time for Heitkamp to use his first timeout of the night even, where he can take some time to talk with his team and just say, hey, we are in no rush. There is no need to stress out about anything. You don't need to get too hyped up, nor do you need to just start settling in too much either, that we need to just play our game. Garretson has really focused on being able to play their game, especially in this second half of the season where they have looked considerably better than the way that they started their season. And I guess if you're going to play good ball at any time, you better be playing it at the end of your season rather than in the beginning of your season, because you want to be able to go deep into those playoffs as much as you can. Bench just a little thinner for Garretson tonight, as Tad Heitkamp still is there, and so is assistant coach Jake Heimiller. Assistant coach Corey Buckles is out tonight, but is hoping to be back for a Friday game, knock on wood. He's listening from Las Vegas, so Coach Corey, I know that they are missing you here on the court and playing hard tonight on this first round of regions. Cody Klein finds himself at the line as he was followed by Isaiah Ganat. Misses his first. Michael Dorer comes on for Nate Ricky. Ricky leading all scorers tonight so far. Klein taking another look. Spins, adjusts his shorts. Hits incorrectly, but it looks like there was a lane violation by Garretson. I think that lane violation was on Ganat. Klein's gonna get another look at this, and he hits this one. Lead down to 7 for the Garretson Blue Dragons after that made free throw. Dorer playing tight defense over on Kent. Swings it over to Long. Long looks to separate just a little bit. Great little shovel pass by Kent over to Lardy. Lardy hits it over to Schlueter. Schlueter finds Ganat in the corner, but is unable to connect as Ganat launched from 3 on that baseline. Nice little double team over on Brooks, who wasn't quite sure what to do, but he did find Dorer with as a little dribble out. Wolf launches over from 3. No good. Big rebound by Kent. When you talk about players who get it done on both sides of the court, it's really easy to just focus on what the box score shows. Or a typical scorebook shows, which is literally just points and fouls. However, it's some of those intangibles like the leadership on the court, that defensive effort, rebounds, assists, all of those kind of things that really make a well-rounded player. And Kent has definitely been that for the Garretson Blue Dragons tonight. While his scoring column maybe isn't as big as what it usually is, he's definitely finding other ways to contribute to that team and keep his team in the game. In fact, currently with a 7-point lead as ball goes off of Madison, or they're calling it off of Madison. It looked like Ganat had a hand. Ganat had a hand on it. It was poked from behind. Looks like they are going to give it to Madison as Ganat was the last one to touch that ball. Glad that the officials came together to converse with that one. Brooks launches from 3. Schlueter and Long both fighting for the rebound. Schlueter gets it. It looks to maybe drive a little bit. Great pass over to Akingay down low. Akingay gets 2. 40 seconds left to play in the third quarter, spreading up to 9. Ball being passed along the 3-point line. Here looking for that opportunity to inbound it with Brooks in. Clay Lardy going to get the body call on that one and sending Cody Klein back to the line. Klein hits on his first. Takes 2 dribbles, big spin with the adjustment, and then hits his second. 20.5 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Garretson needs to at least get across the timeline within 10 seconds. Still a little bit of time to spare here. Don't want to shoot too early in this because you don't want to give Madison another look at it, especially when you have that 7-point lead going here into halftime. Long with the ball with 2 seconds left to play. Finds Schlueter way down below. Great attempt at that look. It was a tough angle for Schlueter. As Garretson goes into the fourth quarter with a 7-point lead, 38-31 over the visiting Madison Bulldogs. Garretson, your number 4 seed in Region 3A. Madison, your number 5 seed in Region 3A. 7-point swing here. Nice to see really great community turnout for this region game on both teams' behalves, by the way, as Madison stands are pretty full. As you can see them here behind that, the Madison bench and the Garretson side. Great turnout by the student section. Looks like Hawaiian Night was the theme. Fourth quarter in the books, and it is going to be in favor of Garretson. Garretson does get a start with the ball. They are up by 7, 38-31, 8 minutes left to play. Winner moves on to Region 2 semifinals at the Augustana University Elman Center. I almost said college, or I had to catch myself. As an Augie grad forever ago, I went to Augustana College, and it changed over to university since my time there. But at Augustana's Elman Center, good move by Kloth to be strong down low. Maybe could have been pegged with his 5th foul with an offensive as he kind of lowered his shoulder. But officials are kind of letting these boys play a little bit. Kloth going straight up to prevent Ricky from an easy shot, and it ended up working. Kent comes down with that defensive rebound. Great behind the back by Kent to avoid Dahl's pick. Akingay misses. Kloth comes away with the rebound. Good look by Long for that 3 points, but is unable to convert on this one. Yes, I am going to clarify. Coach Corey Buckles is not gone just to be gone or because of a sickness. He is gone for work. He was required to be out of town for work for the week, but is hopeful that he will be able to be back on the bench working with these boys in that Region 2 game. But we have to finish off these final 7 minutes. And Madison is going to make that push as Jensen turns around for 2, getting his 10th points of the night. 38-33 down to a 5-point lead for the Garretson Blue Dragons. Attempt at the screen and roll with Kent and Kloth. Kent ends up getting knocked to the floor and will find himself settling in at the free throw line. On the court to start this fourth quarter for the Blue Dragons is Long, Schleter, Kent, Akingay, and Kloth. Lardy is going to check in for Kloth right now, check in for Akingay. On the floor for Madison is Dahl, Ricky, Smith, Dorer, and Jensen. Kent knocks it down, stretches the lead to 6. As Madison goes and hits in their offensive set against Garretson's 2-3 zone. Ball gets swung all the way over to Dorer. He finds Ricky running along the baseline. Ricky gets Jensen down low. Great in and out, I should say out and in moves there. As it's been a while since there's been a big man trying to do something down low without it coming from that outside first. Schleter hounded by Ricky as he brings the ball up the court. Looks to create a little bit of space, can't find it. Long gives it to Kloth up on the 3-point line. Kloth tries to get it into Lardy, who finds himself a little bit too far down. Tries to go for the baseline shot, but goes off of the back of the rim. Great long lead pass by Wolf over to Jensen. Jensen converts. 4-point game now with 6 minutes to play. This is the time when you are up. You don't want to play safe, because when you play safe, that allows teams to come back a little bit too early. You still need to kind of put that pressure on. And if you are that team who is behind, you are doing anything in your powers in order to make that happen, as Kent gets lots of hands on him, but nothing called there as they're kind of letting these boys play it out in this second half. Good pass to Smith. Down low, Long tries to get the block. I honestly think he missed it, but Smith missed the basket regardless. And Kent is able to come away with the ball after a rebound by Kloth. Coach Heitkamp calling a 30-second timeout, probably just trying to settle his guys down a little bit as that 39-35 score is kind of looming at them. They went into this third quarter with a 7-point lead and now find themselves with just 4 points. So a little bit of extra excitement, a little bit of extra adrenaline going on right now for the Blue Dragons, as they are wanting to obviously extend their season, as is the Madison Bulldogs, but trying to do so in a way that is maybe uncharacteristic of their current successes. So Heitkamp just refocusing the Blue Dragons a little bit here on the court in Madison. I would assume Jeff Larson is telling them that just keep on the pressures, keep staying aggressive. Literally at this point, you have nothing to lose. There's 5 minutes left in your season if you don't win tonight. So leave it all on the court. Garretson kind of takes their time in this offensive set, not trying to rush anything. Close defense on Long. Like I said, they were going to hound him in pretty closely, because as soon as he gets hot, he grabs the attention of literally everyone in the gym. Schlueter going to go ahead and trigger it in for Garretson on the side. Kent getting away with a poor pass choice as it went off of Madison hands, but he was able to come away with it and get for two, but Trey Smith, or I'm sorry, that is Cody Klein, quickly responds with two of his own, keeping this at a 4-point game. Oh, Dorer left wide open for three from the baseline, cuts that lead in half. 43-40. Dahl close in on Kent. Gets the ball over to Schlueter, giving him a little bit of extra room. Great pass by Long to Kloth. Ball falls off all angles of the rim, but he is going to get that blocking foul. He is going to get that blocking foul and find himself sitting on the free throw line. Hopefully Kloth is going to be able to convert out. Kloth coming down hard. Looks like he's struggling just a little bit here. Tries to take his time on the free throw line. He does have 10 seconds, so no rush there. He banks it off the backboard. And you can tell by his expression he wasn't really pleased with that shot, nor was he really feeling his best here right now. Kloth still trying to catch his breath. Like I said, he has 10 seconds, so absolutely no rush as he hits his second. Lead goes back up to 5. Ball in favor of Madison right now. 3:45 to play in this game. It is too close to close anything off yet. Good hands by Schlueter to make Jensen have to work for that pass. They kick it out to Dahl. Dahl takes a look from three, unable to get it. Good rebound by by Smith, who gets it over to Jensen. Jensen unable to finish, and Garretson is going to get it. Not for their great rebounding, but for Madison just tipping that ball out of bounds. They do a lot of tip rebounding, which is one of the things that the scouting report did say was going to happen, especially by that number 23, Aiden Jensen. Good crossover by Long as he finds Akingay, who cuts in baseline. Akingay gets literally everyone on top of him on that one inadvertently. There is no malintent with any of these fouls right now. It does not look like it's overly aggressive or to the point where it's out of frustration, but just good hard play because everyone knows that extending their season a few more days is on the line. Not saying that that would be easy on the next game as Akingay hits his first. And we'll settle back in for a second look, because awaiting them is going to be the winner of the number 1, number 8 seed of the Baltic West Central games, where West Central, I have heard, has all but won that game. They're just looking to finalize it. In the words of my oldest, the game is over, they just need to finish it. But Dahl is not letting that happen. I'm sorry, not Dahl. Dorer is not letting that happen for the Madison Bulldogs as he hits just another three. These last 6 points by Madison, all by Dorer from three-point range, have been Dorer's almost only shots of the night. And he has came in clutch for them. It doesn't matter maybe how many shots you hit, but when you hit those shots, as it is now a 46-43 game in favor of Garretson. Garretson does have the ball. They're going to have to go the length of the court still. Here with less than 3 minutes left to play in this fourth quarter. On the court for Garretson, number 23 Kloth, 15 Kent, 11 Akingay, 13 Schlueter, and 3 Long. And on the court for Madison, number 23 Jensen, number 20 Smith, number 4 Ricky, number 2 Dorer, and number 1 Dahl. Full court press going on for Garretson. Kent goes over to his strong side on that left side, finds Schlueter. Schlueter quickly closed in by Smith, trying to look where to pull that ball. Finds Kint after a little bit of close work there. Kint pulls himself all the way back to the timeline, swings it over to Long on that left side. Long takes it, drives it in, but it's called for the charge. Great job by Dahl getting himself into position. Basket is no good. Still stays at a 3-point game. Madison has the opportunity to tie this up. This would be the first time since the third quarter that Madison would at least be tied for the lead. They came into this second half with a 3-point lead, 24-21, and Garretson had a great third quarter. Ockenga fouls Jensen, but it's on the floor. No shots going to be had. Ball will be taken out of bounds. With that being said, Garretson is in the bonus, so the next time Madison does foul, Garretson will find themselves at the line, whether it is a shooting foul or not. Great pass by Ricky to Smith, and Smith connects for two, brings the game within one. 2:17 to play. Garretson not in a rush, but not also wanting to waste this possession. You definitely want to keep that lead if you can. You don't want to give Madison that momentum of feeling the lead again as they did toward the end of that first half. Kint looking for Kint was looking for Kloth as he had that post up and looking on that baseline side. Jensen was called for the hold on Kloth. I really wasn't watching that part too much as I was looking more at Kloth's baseline side and the help coming across the lane because that was there, and I don't know if Kloth would have handled the ball or not. That is kind of yet to be determined, but whistle came across saying the hold. Kloth misses his free throw. Ball goes in favor of Madison. Madison down by just one with 1:45 to play. Madison kind of doing the same thing that Garretson is doing and wanting to make sure you get the right shot as Dahl launches from three. Big rebound by Jensen to keep Madison on this, and this is what I said right at the beginning of the game as Smith launches from three. Dahl gets the board and Kloth fouls out. Dahl gets the bucket, his first points of the night, and it's going to find himself at the line to put Madison up by one. Kloth is out of the game. Lardy going to go ahead and check in. Dahl trying to settle himself a little bit. There was a lot of energy, a lot of emotion on that one as he was able to convert and give the Bulldogs their first lead of the game since the early third quarter. He hits his free throw. Madison now up by two with 1:25 left to play. Madison crowd getting behind their Bulldog team. Kint shovels it over to Schlueter. Schlueter's attempt from three is short. Long tries to steal the ball, but it's going to get called for raking Ricky, which is going to go ahead and put Ricky at the line. That is not the player you want to have at the line for Madison. He has probably been one of their strongest players all game, if not all year. Gnat checking on for Ockenga as both teams are now in the bonus. Ricky with a big breath, two dribbles, slight pause, and then releases. Hits off the front of the rim and goes in. Ricky's been pretty quiet here in this second half. So Madison, I'm sure, is excited to see him kind of get back on the board and hopefully get in the groove of things. Lane violation looks like was committed by Trey Smith. Basket is waved off. It is still a one-possession game, but it is a three-point game. Schlueter inbounds it to Kint. Kint takes it up. Dahl playing a little bit off defense, not wanting to risk putting Kint at the line. 1 minute to play in the game. Coach Heitkamp electing to call a full timeout. It has been a game of swings and streaks as Madison and Garretson have jockeyed for the lead all game. And just as their records predicted, this game is about as close and as intense as you would have thought out of this 4-5 matchup, out of a matchup that was decided by only just less than even one power point. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure it was just by about a tenth of a point Garretson was able to host rather than Madison. Just trying to see how that region shook out. Garretson set to inbound it here with 1 minute left to play. Yes, it was just a tenth of a point as Garretson had 40.35 power points and Madison with 40.25 based on win-loss records and all of and teams that they have played throughout the season. Ball is passed around on the outer half of the perimeter, looking for their opportunity. Long mishandles the ball. Long does gather it in, but Trey Smith picks up a foul on the attempt. Can't blame Smith for being aggressive on that ball. You've got to kind of leave it all out on the court, especially when there's a loose ball just like that. 44.8 to play. Long finds himself on the free throw line. This is the first time he has been on the free throw line tonight. A little uncharacteristic. We do want to wish Cooper Long a happy birthday and hope that he can get himself a birthday present by converting here. He does. Hoping he can maybe do the same. Long releases. This next one short. Ball goes out of bounds, but it is off of Madison. Garretson gets the ball. They are down by 2, 43.4 seconds left, 35-second shot clock. So it's quite possible that there's only 2 possessions left in this game, but I'm expecting Garretson to want to trigger right away. Gannat launches from 3, and that ball is off the mark. Long gets the rebound, misses. Kent gets a look at it, or at least tries to. And Long is going to get pegged for the rebound, and Jensen's going to find himself on the free throw line. These 33.9 seconds may take much longer than that, folks, as you are looking at it, especially if a rebound or if a free throw is missed here, as both teams know that this game is within reach, and putting the other team at the free throw line may be the best chance they have to get that rebound and push the length of the court. 47-49 in favor of Madison. Madison's Jensen finds himself at the free throw line and does convert. Up to 3-point lead now for the Bulldogs. You can hear Garretson student section's intensity rising just a little bit as they now find themselves down by 4. Kent shovels it off to Long. Long finds Kent, but not before Dorr pushes him over. Not intentionally, but got a little bit too much body into him. Long is going to be back here on that free throw line, 26.1 left to play. Less than 8 seconds ticked off from the last free throw attempt. Thank you to the officials for wiping the court. If Garretson had their student manager here, I'm sure he would have been out there in a heartbeat to clean off that floor for those boys. Unfortunately, he is at home sick. So Colton, we wish you the best and hope that you get to see these boys play on Friday as well. But right now it is a 4-point game with Cooper Long at the line, shooting 2 regardless, but he does make the first. It is officially down to a 1-possession game. Obviously, Garretson would feel much more comfortable if it was a 2-point spread rather than a 3-point spread, just going for the high percentage shots, and he does make it. Coach Heitkamp prompts for the 30-second timeout. Maybe thinking that they might put on a press here on Madison. Waiting maybe for a little bit of insight from Coach Corey, who we hope is watching from a distance as to what's going to happen. Coach Larson prepping Madison, probably telling them to just kind of hold the ball, make Garretson foul them. That's obviously, I think, that what you would want to do unless you are wide open and it's in that high percentage range. I don't see why Madison would want to take a shot. I wouldn't expect anything outside of the paint on their offensive set. Up by 2, close game. As expected, Garretson is going to put on the press here. First time that Madison has pretty much had to deal with the press all night. Ricky looking to inbound it. Does get to run the baseline, closed in by Dahl. Dahl quickly fouled by Schlueter and will go over to the line. Dahl has only been to the line once, but he did make it on a really big and one to put this game within reach for Madison. Dahl hits his first. If he hits the next, it is a 2-possession game, which obviously falls in Madison's favor with just 24.5 seconds left, and it rattles around but does go in. Kent kind of pushing the issue just a little bit here against Dahl. Big screen by Lardy, looking to use that maybe just a little bit more. Gannat swings the ball over to Schlueter. Schlueter launches from 3, hits, and another timeout by Coach Heitkamp. I believe that's his last timeout. Game down to just 1 point, 52-53 in favor of the visiting Madison Bulldogs. 12 seconds left to play. 12 seconds may not seem like a lot, but it's more than what you think. There's plenty of time to get up and down the court. There's plenty of time to get a foul. If you need to foul somebody, there's plenty of time for actually maybe a few possessions to even happen. Since that 33-point whatever mark that we mentioned probably about 5 minutes ago, there have been multiple possessions, multiple sits on either side of the line. So we are hopeful that this game is going to extend just a little bit longer. Looks like they adjusted the clock to 11.5 seconds. Looking for a little bit of maybe explanation here. Just 11.5 seconds left on the clock. Seeing what Bob Bennett is saying. Mr. Bennett has been our shot clock operator, and or not our shot clock operator, but our scoreboard operator all season. Thank you, Mr. Bennett, for dedicating your time to the Blue Dragons, as well as Kurt Stoltenberg, who is our shot clock operator, and Carrie Stoltenberg, who is our official scorer at all of our home events. Yep, 12 seconds back on the clock. Looks like the press, they're lining up the same way for Madison as they did last time. Only a few seconds ticked off the clock. Ricky gets a signal that he is allowed to run the baseline, gets the ball into Dahl, and Dahl is finally fouled by Lardy. Dahl hit all 3 of his free throws that he has attempted, hoping to do the same. It is a double bonus, so regardless if Dahl hits or not, he does get 2 shots. And makes the first. And is looking pretty comfortable there on that free throw line. Looks like Dahl would prefer to stay there all night if he can. Misses the second, but rebound goes to Smith. That was a rough rebound for Garretson. They needed that one because that was just a 2-point game. If we would have came down with the rebound, obviously you're able to tie or take the lead on that possession. Now you're putting Dahl at the line 2 more times, which would maybe push it to a 2-possession game again. That was critical that Garretson needed to box out there and did not. Dahl makes up for that 1 missed free throw with that one there. And it looks like Larson is going ahead and taking his timeout. 3-point spread, 55-52 in favor of the Madison Bulldogs, with just 7.3 seconds left to play in this game. Intensity from both of the crowd sections, as the Madison section has been standing and cheering, especially since that comeback in that 4th quarter, but really behind their Bulldogs here. And this Garretson Student section is also fantastic, as well as the parents, so thank you for getting into that. On the court for Garretson, here in these final 7.9 seconds left, we have Kent, Gannat, Long, Schlueter, and Lardy. For Madison, you have Dahl sitting at the free throw line, Ricky, Dorer, Smith, and Jensen. Dahl looks for a second, misses. There, Garretson gets the rebound, but it is a three-point game. 4 seconds left. Gets the ball over to Gannat. Gannat swings it to Long. Long looks for three. Ball is no good. Looking for a foul, but it didn't come. Heitkamp and Long in absolute disbelief that foul wasn't called. And game falls in favor of the visitors. Madison 55, Garretson 52. Congratulations, Madison Bulldogs. You will be moving on to Friday night's game at the Elman Center against West Central. Congratulations, Garretson, on a wonderful season, but a heartbreaking loss here in the regions. Definitely will be missing those seniors on the team, Kent, Akingay, and Gannat. So an even second half allows Madison to come away with the three-point victory, as they had a three-point lead going into halftime. Garretson had a phenomenal third quarter, but Madison's comeback in that fourth quarter was just too much for Garretson to handle. And Madison was able to come away with a three-point win, 55-52. On the heels of some pretty clutch buckets and free throws by senior guards Aspinall and Mikhail Dorer. Aspinall was amazing at the free throw line in that final minute, as he got pushed there quite a bit and only missed one of those attempts, allowing Madison, or two of those attempts allowing Madison to keep that pressure on Garretson, making them feel like they had to score every time down that court. Mikhail Dorer only ended the night with 6 points, but those 6 points were on 2 clutch threes to get their team back in it and swing the momentum back in their direction. Aiden Jensen and Nate Ricky I had tagged for at least 14 points apiece, but probably more, as I was probably just as much into the game as you were and weren't tallying all of those marks. But great offensive efforts right there by those two gentlemen. Leading scorer for Garretson was Cooper Long, as he came alive in that second half with three-pointers, great takes to the basket, and giving himself some opportunities at the free throws, where he is a very strong shooter. Caden Akingay ends with 7, Sam Schlueter with 6, including a big 3 to put Garretson back within 1 late to go. Dylan Kent with 7, Isaiah Gannat with 3, Rhett Cloth 4, and then Clay Lardy with 7 as well. Well, that is all from the Dragon's Lair. Like I said, this is the last time that basketball is happening here, regardless of the outcome. But it looks like Garretson basketball is now officially done for the season. Congratulations, boys, on a great season. We can't wait to see you guys back on the hardwood next year. Thank you, Coach Heimiller, Coach Buckles, and Coach Heitkamp for your dedication to this program. And good luck to Madison as they face West Central on Friday at the Elman Center at Augustana. For the Dragon's Lair, Garretson, South Dakota, and the Garretson Blue Dragons, have a wonderful evening.